Hello everyone, welcome to my vlog, and of course today's a brand new episode of Brain Blitz TV, Nursing in 15 Minutes, What's In must come out, and of course What's Out must come in. And today's a brand new episode, as what I mentioned earlier. This is a brand new episode and we'll be talking about a very important topic today. We will be talking about the prevention of hypertension or high blood pressure. So this is a very important issue that we're going to address because of course hypertension or high blood pressure is considered to be a silent killer because of course we don't know that we have this already, or we don't know that it will actually going to create complications within us. But before that, let us have this one first. Bye. Welcome back to my channel, everyone. Of course, as what I mentioned, today is a brand new episode and we'll talk about hypertension. So I will not be discussing the pathophysiologic processes of hypertension, but of course our focus or priority this time is to talk about the prevention of this condition. But of course, I'll give you a background information on what is hypertension all about. Of course, when we say hypertension, of course, there's going to be an increase in the blood pressure in our arteries. Of course, it's because there's a problem with delivery of blood towards vital organs. And of course, sometimes this hypertension is brought about by increasing cardiac output, and sometimes it's brought about by increase in your stroke volume and at the same time increase in your pulse rate. Okay, so hypertension is going to be a silent killer. So what I mentioned earlier is because it kills a lot of people already, but of course that's basically because of the complications of hypertension. Probably because of there is a ruptured aneurysm, or there will be possibility of stroke, cardiac arrest, and there are so many complications brought about by hypertension. Okay, so let's talk about hypertension today, and we'll talk about this hypertension by having these preventive measures or the prevention of this condition to happen. So in order for us to easily understand and of course to easily remember the prevention of hypertension, I made a mnemonic, and that's gonna be hypertension. It's letter H, letter Y, letter P, letter E, letter R, letter T, letter E, letter N, letter S, that is letter I, letter O, and letter N. Of course, I've made 12 preventive measures on preventing hypertension. Let's begin with the first letter. The first letter is letter H. Letter H stands for has to watch your waistline. So when I say has to watch your waistline, it means that it is our priority to make sure that there is a need for us to watch our waistline, because if there will be an increasing waistline, it means that we're increasing our weight also. So it will be very important for us to watch out our waistline. It's because it indicates that weight is actually increasing. Our weight is actually increasing. So it is going to be very important for us to make sure that this waistline have to watch out for. Okay, that's letter H. Has to watch your waistline. Letter Y. Letter Y stands for you have to lose extra pounds. So the most important thing that we need to do is to lose this extra weight within us, or to lose our extra weight. It's because excessive weight gain is gonna be an indication that there is a problem with the circulation of blood within our body. So we have to make sure that we have to lose extra weight or extra pound. That's letter Y. And of course, letter P is periods. Periods of stress must be avoided. So of course, when there will be stress, of course, stress is actually gonna be a daily occurrence, and we cannot actually get rid of that. But it is very important for us to make sure that these stressors must have to be controlled, and it has to be neutralized, because there is an increase in blood pressure if there will be increasing level of stress. It's because of course there will then be this sympathetic nervous system stimulation, and when we say there is sympathetic nervous system stimulation, of course there will be an increase in everything, including your vital signs, and of course at the same time the blood pressure is also going to be included. That is letter P. Letter P is periods of stress must be avoided. Let's now have letter E. Letter E stands for exercise regularly. Exercising or having a workout regularly is very important and vital. It's because of course it will actually use up the excessive calories that are actually within us. So it's just basically by walking in 30 minutes period in a day, it's gonna be enough already. So it will be very important for us to have this exercise regularly. Let's now have letter R. Letter R stands for reduce your sodium intake in your diet. So when you say reduce your sodium intake in the diet, it means that we have to get rid of excess in sodium. It's because, of course, sodium attracts more water, and when there will be an excessive amount of water or fluids in the body, of course, it will actually gonna be increasing our cardiac output. So letter R stands for reduce your sodium intake in your diet. Let's have now letter T. Letter T is there is a need to cut caffeine intake. So letter T stands for there is a need for us to cut caffeine intake. So it will be very important for us to get rid of the excessive amount of caffeine within our bodies, because of course caffeine is a potent vasoconstrictor and it causes our blood to become it causes our blood vessels to become constricted, and at the same time, if there will be constricted blood vessels, that will actually going to cause more or increase in blood pressure. So letter T stands for there is a need to cut our caffeine intake. Let's now have letter E. Letter E stands for eat a healthy diet. So when we say eat a healthy diet, it means that we are going to focus more on vegetables and fruits, at the same time high fiber diet, because of course this high fiber diet will actually going to help us in increasing our daily elimination. And at the same time, if we have a regular diet, a healthy regular diet, it means that we're promoting a healthy lifestyle. That's letter E. Letter N stands for letter N stands for needs to have regular monitoring of blood pressure. So if there's a problem with your increasing blood pressure, it will be very important for us to make sure that your blood pressure is being monitored once in a while. It's because of course regular monitoring of your blood pressure indicates that you're actually careful of your own body. You're careful that you are actually having this increase in blood pressure. Therefore, there's a need for us to have a regular BP monitoring. That's letter N. Let's now have letter S. Letter S stands for smoking must be avoided. So there has to be cessation of smoking, because of course nicotine is also a potent vasoconstrictor. And if this is going to be present, there is an increased risk of us to have the risk of increase in blood pressure because of the vasoconstrictive effect of this nicotine. So letter S stands for smoking must have to be avoided. Of course, letter I stands for institute lifestyle modification. So when you say institute lifestyle modification, it means that we have to make sure that our sedentary behaviors must have to be modified, and of course will become more healthy. So we have to work out regularly, exercise more, and at the same time exercising more is going to be of help, especially in making sure that there is going to be a healthy life in the future. That's letter I. Letter O stands for openness to health education. So most of us are actually not aware that the signs and symptoms of hypertension, but of course sometimes it's gonna be asymptomatic in nature. But of course it will be very important for us to be open with health education classes, because this will give us information on what to do with regards to the emergence of this hypertension or increase in blood pressure within our body. That is letter O, openness to health education. That's letter N, the last letter. No to alcohol, or alcohol intake must have to be limited. So of course it will be good for us to get rid of the alcohol, excessive alcohol, because of course excessive alcohol will also going to have a depressant effect in our body. Thus it will also going to increase our blood pressure. So it will be very important for us to remember that alcohol must have to be avoided, or it has to be limited. Okay, so those are the 12 preventive measures of preventing hypertension. Of course, this 12 hypertensive technique is going to be very important because it will help us, especially in making sure that we're living in a healthy lifestyle. Okay, so for us to recap those things, of course, letter H stands for has to watch our waistline. Letter Y stands for you have to lose your excessive waist. You have to lose your extra pounds or extra weight. Letter P stands for periods of stress must be avoided. Letter E stands for exercise regularly. Letter R stands for reduce your sodium intake in your diet. Letter T stands for there's a need to cut our caffeine intake. Letter E stands for eat a healthy diet. Letter M stands for needs to have a regular BP monitoring. Letter S stands for smoking must have to be avoided. Letter I stands for institute lifestyle modification. Letter O stands for openness to health education. And letter N stands for no to alcohol, or alcohol intake must have to be limited. Okay, so those are the informations that are actually very essential, especially in preventing our hypertensive crisis or hypertensive attack. So I hope that I have actually left something in you. So I am actually sure that out of these 12 preventive measures of hypertension, you have to you get something from it. Okay? So of course, for those of you who are actually new to this channel, please don't forget to click the subscribe button and of course to hit the notification bell for you to be updated of my succeeding videos in the future. And of course, thank you so much for your continued subscription, and I hope that we will grow together in this channel. This is Brain Blitz TV, Nursing in 15 Minutes. What's in must come out, and what's out must come in. This has been your moderator, Joseph Abang, signing off. Thank you so much. See you again next time. Bye!